Today I want to talk about something pretty important. I want to talk about the power of intentions. It's been popping up a lot in the conscious movement, the awakening, spirituality, esoteric teachings. People are starting to realize that there's more than just what we know, what we understand, what we say, what we do. And that something more is the intention behind it. I don't necessarily mean that normal version of intention that we commonly think of, like a motive. But more the reality of perception that we have entering into our actions. It's something like this. If I go into something wanting to teach somebody something, that's my motive. But if I go into that without the proper understanding of what I'm going to teach, without the proper lifestyle that goes along with these teachings, if I go into it with a feeling of doubt, if I go into it subconsciously struggling somewhere else in my learning abilities, if I don't realize that within my teachings will be some of my greatest learnings, there will be no way for me to properly convey what I'm trying to teach. Recently I've been trying to work with positive affirmations. It started off really simple. My idea was I was going to wake up every day. I was going to let myself know that I'm valuable, that I'm worth something, that I will become something greater than what I am today. Yeah, my intention, my motive there seemed great. But there was doubt. When I would tell myself these things, within myself, I was reacting. I didn't truly believe. I couldn't look myself in the eye and see how now was altering because of it. See, we're taught to believe that these affirmations, these changes in perception, are like habits. They're something entrained, and they take time and patience and skill to practice out. And yes, there is some truth to that. But in reality, when you truly believe something, when you truly know what you're saying is everything that you believe, is everything that you feel in that very moment, it completely alters the effect that it has on you. It's like when you stub your toe mildly, tap it against the couch, a chair, and it didn't really hurt, right? But you still said ow. You still believed that there was pain. And it affected you deeply, instantaneously. That is how much you have to believe in your intent, in your intentions. At least if you want them to be effective. See, people keep getting told all of these beautiful things, and it seems that not many people truly understand how to show what's going on inside. There's really not much going on inside, except that I allow myself the time to catch up with what I want to express. I don't sit there and argue with my doubt, argue with my thoughts, disagree, despair, suffer. What I'm doing is I'm waiting for my mental state, my body, my spirit, my emotions all to line up right with the intention that I want, that I need. Because once those things are aligned, it's not a matter of thinking what to say. It's not a matter of deciding what to do. That decision has already been made beyond anything that you could ever control. It's as if within our existence there is, for every now, an infinite possibility of us. And as long as we allow ourselves to align, we can tap into all of these. From my understanding, a lot of people, a lot of beings, refer to this as the Akashi or the Akashic Records. Not exactly sure. Because it's beautiful to have names for things and to have agreements on what they're going to be called and how we're going to discuss them. But what's the intention behind it? To allow access to everybody? Or to give somebody one more thing to distract them from what they're actually doing? I have a major problem with overreacting. For some reason, small little things, they drive me insane. They make me angry, upset, almost uncontrollably so. I can't say I've overcome this part of myself. But every day, as my intention changes, I grow closer to that intent. I grow closer to that understanding, that beauty inside that I know distracts me. Right now, off in the distant background, I can hear my mother chatting on the phone. with her door open, after I spent the last hour asking and trying to figure out how I'm going to get some quiet so that I can do some personal reflections on video. My face is flushed with redness. I can feel the physical signs of anger taking over. I'm conscious and I'm aware of these things. But for some reason, deep inside, beyond all of those characteristics and habits and emotions and feelings and physical traits that are being presented, I feel this little pinpoint. This balance. Right in between peace and anger. And no matter how far on either side I go, it's always there. Right there. And as long as I can tap into that point, as long as I can take some deep breaths, as long as I can encourage my intentions, I can separate myself from those issues. I have a war inside myself at the moment over something. It's quiet. Tries to pretend it's not there. But it is over intent. I wanted to produce something that I found valuable. Not valuable in the sense of money. Valuable in the sense of the ability for me to go back and see me achieving a state that I enjoy. Sometimes it's really hard for me to pull myself back to where I once was. But behind that, there's the realization that I like money. I like that sort of value also. The more true and the better spoken, the better shared I can make something, the more people it will connect to, the more growth it will have upon its own. And I see monetary value in that. And that's where my war is at. Just being conscious of the two aspects of my personality. See, if I spend so much time reviewing these wars and trying to figure out this answer of what's going to win and what my intent is, that I miss the whole point. The whole true balanced intent that I am seeking to align with constantly. It's this now state. It's in between. And it's one. You know, so many great speakers have said, now is not the past or the future or the present. Now is the encompassing totality of these things. Now is a state that is outside of time itself. Where you're no longer restricted by the flow of it. It's not linear. It's parallel, almost, I guess. All intertangled. Yeah. All entangled. I guess what point I'm really trying to make is intent really isn't controllable. Because trying to control it changes it from being intent into something completely different. And it's a waste of time. Because you'll just destroy yourself with it. You'll lose your peace, your focus, your drive, your motivation, your happiness, your ability to stay in now. You'll lose all of it trying to figure out what you're intending to do. I wish it was something more complex than that, to be honest. I'm trying to cover all my bases here, because I'm sure there's somebody out there that still has no idea what I'm talking about. And it's real simple. Sometimes it takes repeating something over and over and over and over and over. But see, all that is doing is cramming things in. You're trying to learn how to ride a bike. So you look at how the pedals work, and you look at the floor and the tires and the handlebars, and you get yourself so worked up on, this is exactly how I'm going to do it. and it's gonna work, and it's gonna happen exactly this way, and you have all of these ideas and all of this passion, and you hop on the bike and you fall over. Because that was your intent. You intended to fall over. It took that time when you got on that bike, and for no reason at all, maybe for some you were at the point of giving up on trying to learn. Maybe for some you had somebody that was there with you saying, I've got you. This time you can't fall. But you truly intended to become that ride, that pedal. You connected with that moment, that intention. And then from there you rode bike. That's it. You rode bike. I mean, you have to do the same thing with affirmations, consciousness, memory. If you think programming it into you, don't take me wrong, neural programming is a great topic to go into. You know, it's bountiful and absolutely wonderful, and the things you can achieve with that are amazing. Amazing. But if you're truly trying to connect with that innermost self, you're not going to do it from messing around with the hardware. You have to tap into the flow of electricity. You have to be that electricity. I can tell you why. In my opinion, memory itself is a symptom. It wasn't the intent. It wasn't the goal. See, this hardware here, this brain, its job is to recognize patterns. It's a pattern recognition system. If you know anything about a pattern recognition system, to recognize a pattern, you have to be able to compare patterns. Not only the ones you're currently facing, but then the previous patterns that have already been linked together. Can you see that? Memory is a symptom. It's not necessary. It's beautiful, but that's not what holds everything. That's not the limit. That's not the top of the pyramid. The apex.